Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, good evening everybody. Welcome to another edition of the AccessToTrade.com nightly update show. Hope everybody is doing well. Guys, take a second out, support the channel. All it takes is a 1/10 of a second. Click that like button, share, come aboard if you haven't done so already. And hopefully, again, I will point you in the right direction. Again, at some point, at some point, the madness has to stop. I've been recording this video now for the last, 7 days, ever since we lost the 200-day moving average. And every single video said, guys, whatever you do, do not buy the gap. Just whatever you do, don't buy the gap. Just don't buy the gap. The weekend video, the worst thing that could possibly happen is we can gap up. Okay, it will get it will get sold instantly. And the problem is retail investors. Again, it's hard for me to call them traders, but retail participants. I think that's the best way of saying it. Retail participants, they're romantics. Every single time they see an uptick, that's the bottom. Every single time they hear a headline, whether it's been regurgitated 275 consecutive days or not, they're romantics. They fall in love with it. They start chasing it. And, last night the futures are red. I'm like, my game plan today, like I said in the weekend video, was if the market gaps up, just wait for the channels to come down. Confirm Friday's channels, get short. If the markets gap down 1 or 2%, look for those opening range highs above 10, 11 o'clock, potentially to go long. We got our gap up, man, today. We got our gap up. And the first thing we talked about, the same thing we talk about in the webinar every single day, guys, just wait for these channels to break down. That's it. Wait for these channels to break down. And there is, on no circumstance, again, we talked about this every night, there's no circumstances you should ever buy a gap up unless the war is over. If you told me the war is over, okay, we'll make an exception. But if you keep on regurgitating the same thing, we're close to make a deal, we want to make a deal. Again, I could literally record this video once and play it for the last 7 days. You're going to get stuffed into supply. You have to stop doing it, okay? You have to stop buying every single headline that's literally exactly the same thing it was the previous day and expecting different results. Again, it's the definition of insanity, just the market version. And, this morning you wake up, everything starts going green. Well, guess what? Trump is saying, well, they want to make a deal. They want to make a deal. And Iran says, we have no idea what you're talking about, right? And ultimately, guess what happens? The market goes red. They lose opening range lows. They lose Friday's lows, yada, yada, yada. Here we are, decimated again. And anybody bought anything pre-market or opening range highs, you got hit because, again, we are in a sell-side environment. Is the market eventually going to bottom out? 100%, right? 100% is going to bottom out. Eventually, sellers will be tired. The personality of the market needs to switch. And basically what I mean by that is all the headlines that are taking us down, they need to start getting tone deaf. They have to stop going down the same headlines that they're going down now. Headlines are only as good as the first 28 times you talk about them, right? So it's very, very important that you need the personality of the market to come down. How do you know this? Okay, well, we're not going to get massive dumps anymore, okay? What you need for a market to get tired, for the sellers to get tired, you need to see candles contract. What you're seeing now over the last several months, especially the last week and a half when we lost the 200-day moving average, we're getting expansion candles, meaning we're gapping up and coming all the way down. So the average true range of the Qs in a lot of these stocks are getting absolutely annihilated. What you need is 2, 3, 4 sessions of the market. Number one, not taking out previous day's lows. That's very, very important. Number two, contracting in channels. So you want boring days. If you're a perma bull, you want absolutely boring days. That's basically telling you sellers are comfortable at those levels. When you get sellers comfortable at those levels and negative headlines are being kind of omitted or engulfed, that's a good thing. Eventually, when the sellers get completely tired, then and only then can the market take out a previous day's high. And if you've been watching me for years and years and years and years, you kind of know this is the most basic formula. It's nothing to do with the PS60 theory. It's the most basic thing in technical analysis. There's no possible way, zero, right? It's not even a matter of discussion. There's no possible way for your stock or the market to go higher if it doesn't take out the previous day's highs. It's impossible, right? It's impossible. You might have an uptick. Your stock might be green, but your stock is not going higher. The market's not going higher. And what do you see, right? What do you see over the last several days, right? The last 4 or 5 days when we lost the 200-day moving average, you're seeing expansion channels, lower highs, and lower lows. So somebody turn around to me and go, well, Amazon is strong today. Amazon is not strong today. Amazon was green today. Okay, there's a big difference. Amazon's not strong, it's green, right? It's an inside day, didn't take out the previous day's high. So for me to turn around and go, oh, I want to be buying Amazon, which again, I'm just using Amazon as a case study, it would have to take out at least a range or two for me to get excited about it. But to the downside, I would say, all right, the stock is green today after getting murdered on Friday, inside day. If it loses Friday's low, I want to be a seller, right? So that's the sell side aspect of it. And the most important part is, folks, you have to stop looking for the one stock that stands out. Okay, guys, we're in a sell cycle. Okay, if you don't realize we're in a sell cycle, you're looking at this market completely different than I am. Okay, we're in a sell cycle. It's not the one stock, right, that stands out. Now, correct me if you heard me before. It's the 10,000 stocks that don't. We talked about last night. We talked about the weekend video. Guys, watch the semiconductors. Watch the semiconductors. Watch the semiconductors. Watch the semiconductors. The semiconductors start losing, everything's going to come in. And matter of fact, again, we talked about the weekend video. All these things we talked about, okay? It's not like we woke up this morning, right? We didn't wake up this morning and talked about Tesla, talked about Avago, talked about SMHs, talked about TSM, talked about NVIDIA. This was all on the weekend video. Your highest probability, okay, no matter how you trade, your highest probability is always going to be on the previous night's research. It's not going to just be at 9:30 in the morning because you see some stock going green. It's the night's research. And if you're not putting in the work, and I've been saying this for years, if you're not putting in the work and not putting in a series that you're putting yourself in a high probability, low-hanging fruit scenario, then you're just chasing, you're just pretending, you're just going through the motions. And the last thing you want to do is be known as a great guesser. So we talked about it in last night's video, right? We talked about a weekend video. Why? Guys, watch Tesla, right? 359.47. That was the previous channel's low. Again, a stock cannot go higher unless it takes out the previous day's high. Well, the opposite is true. The stock cannot go lower until it takes out the previous channel's low. So 359.47 is a short, right? This is a short. Here is Tesla, right? Tesla got back below Friday's channel, 359.47, went all the way down to 352. Again, really nice move. Very, very strong move in the afternoon. Avago, right? We talked about Avago back-to-back week, back-to-back days. You had two channels, right? You had two channels. You had the 298.87 channel, which was last Friday's low, and then you had the 295.30, which was the February lows, and that was the big macro channel, right? Here was Avago. It took out the 298.87, and then it took out the February 4th 295 area. Stock went all the way down to under 290. Beautiful move, absolutely beautiful move on Avago. But this was the big one, right? This was the big one here. We talked about it last night on the weekend video. Again, this is a reason why TSM and Avago and NVIDIA, all these stocks got hit today, because the semiconductors, right? The semiconductor proxy, the SMH, lost this massive 373 level. 373 on SMH confirmed the whole 100-day moving average, right? We talked about this whole massive channel here. It lost the 100-day moving average and went all the way down to 359. I mean, absolutely massive move on the SMHs. Congratulations to all you guys who caught that as well. We talked about TSM last night, right? TSM 322.30 short. All these semis, it's a theme. It's, it's a copycat league, right? It took out the 100-day moving average, took out the 322.20s, traded all the way up to 313 and change. Really, again, massive, massive move in these semis. And NVIDIA, 167 short. You can see NVIDIA just keeps on getting absolutely smacked upside its head. Lost this whole powerful channel last week, and this is all continuation. Traded down to 164 and change. So the most important part is, folks, the market is going to continue to be in sell cycle until this personality changes, or you're going to actually have some concrete news. You can't just have the same news and hope, and oh my God, this is the bottom. So how do we approach tomorrow? Okay. Obviously, there are a lot of names that are kind of overextended. So I want to stay away from NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA, again, probably goes lower, but I want to stay away from NVIDIA. I want to stay away, for example, on the Micron. Micron already has had this massive, massive lose off the 50-day moving average, okay? But here's kind of what we talked about again on the weekend video, okay? It looks like we're oversold, but we're not, right? You look at the monthly chart, and we talked about this on the weekend video. I said, look, there's a shot. We get down to 645. That's going to be the next price discovery level. Does it have to get to 645? No, nothing has to happen. That's the whole point of trading day to day. You're not trying to be right. You're trying to be probable, right? You're trying to have the highest probability for the next day, but you can see here at least visually where your next measure potential is. So you see another 13 points. So what I don't want to do going into tomorrow's session is if we have that big 1 or 2% gap down, yes, I will be looking the same game plan as the weekend video, right? I will be looking for a potential 10 o'clock reversal. I'd like to see some panic. I'd like to see some capitulation. I'd like to see some just massive puts hit all at one time at the open, because it will signal a potential kind of a blow-off bottom. I know it's a weird thing to say, kind of a blow-off bottom and a potential reversal, but we need that 1%. You need that 2%. You need that 3% gap down to have that happen. I pretty much, unless you're getting a headline that says the war is over, it's going to be very, very tough to get a gap and go, as we've seen now for 7 consecutive days. If we do gap up this morning, if we do gap tomorrow morning, of course some sell buys. The same way we've been sell buys every single day on gap up. So if we do get another gap up, let me give you guys some ideas that I like for tomorrow's session. Let me just see what the hell is on the plate. I already forgot what the hell I put on for tomorrow. Look at Dell. Let's back up, right? I want to show you the powerful loss potential of the 10-day moving average, right? So here was Micron. Okay, you see this green line, right? So when Micron lost the 10-day moving average, the 10-day moving average, if you have you ever been in the PS60 workshop, or seen the videos, whatever the case may be, or been in the webinar, you kind of know it's the birth of the trade. So when a stock loses 10-day moving average, it loses short-term support. So when Micron lost the 10-day moving average, this is what followed, right? So you guys remember NET? We talked about NET last week. Okay, same thing, right? The 10-day moving average. See the green line? The 10-day moving average. Once NET lost the 10-day moving average, boom, right? This is what happened. So look at Dell, right? Look at Dell for tomorrow. Again, they're coming for all the stocks that were really, really high flyers, and it's a rotation money coming out of them. So if you look at Dell, Dell stopped right at the green line, right at the 10-day moving average. If Dell can lose the 10-day moving average tomorrow, you can see a move all the way back to the 20-day support of roughly 156. So let's definitely keep an eye on that. Amazon, again, inside day today. I couldn't care less that it's green. It's irrelevant that it's green. The stock has gone from 214 to 199. You think a dollar move in Amazon, it's strong? It's green. That's all it is. It's an inside day. I'm watching this thing below Friday's lows. If this thing starts losing Friday's lows, I want to be a seller of Amazon. CRWV, we saw some pretty good put buying coming in for the April 65 and the April 55 puts. This is now the lowest close in this whole formation of CRWV. I want to watch this thing below below today's channel. If it starts losing today's channel, I want to be sellers there as well. SanDisk, even though SanDisk is for me, it's a little bit hard to trade. Okay, I think it's too big of a spread for me. I can't get the liquidity that I want. I don't want to risk 5-10 points on SanDisk. So it's something like I don't trade. I traded SanDisk maybe like once or twice in the last year. Micron, I've been trading more regularly than SanDisk, but Micron's a little too stretched for my taste. Guys, keep an eye on SanDisk for the next couple of days. This is the first close now below the 50-day moving average. As everybody knows, nothing good ever happens below the 50-day moving average. Watch this thing below today's channel. If it loses today's channel, you could get some more selling coming in as well. And Apple, right? Apple, I traded Apple today. I traded Tesla today. Apple, this is now the first close below the 200-day moving average, okay? This is also the lowest close since the 320 area, okay? You see this whole range here going all the way back to January, right? This whole range here going back to January. Watch Apple for the next couple of days. If Apple starts losing the January lows, you can get a pretty big move coming out of the speculation money there. Again, guys, hope everybody is doing well. Same game plan every day, same process, different day. If you are interested in pivots, guys, all you got to do is hang out for 30 days, see if it's all right for you. And God's help, I will see you all in the field tomorrow. Take care.